this is Koba-sensei from ITeens Lab. This video is the 10th installment in our video course explaining how to use Unity, the software that lets you create 3D and 2D games. In this session, I'll be explaining the material feature. By using this material feature, you can add colors and patterns to the objects you've created in Unity so far. Up until now, the colors have been pretty plain. Once you start adding colors, I think it'll get a lot more fun. Alright, let's get started. So, what exactly is a material? It's a little hard to explain in just a few words, but to put it simply, we're going to change the color of the sphere. Let's give it a try. Okay, in the project window, right-click and select Create Material. This is called a material. So, let's create one. Now, it says New Material here, but you can name it whatever you like. Let's go ahead and change the name. I think I'll call it Player. Alright, I named it Player because I'm about to change its color. Now, this isn't just a round ball or anything like that, it's more about the texture, you know? It's about how it looks, the appearance and feel we're going for. So, that's what this means. Now, here, you can change the color here. See this color section? Let's go ahead and click on it. Alright, when you do that, a color window like this should pop up. If it doesn't appear for you, please check if you're using dual monitors. It might be showing up on a different screen. Now, right here, as you change the color like this, the color here will also change. Yes, so just like this. For example, let's try changing it to red. Then, take the material you've created and drag and drop it onto the sphere. Alright, and as you can see, it turned red. Just like this. So, if you want to change the color of an object, this is how you do it. First, you create a material, then you change the color of that material, and finally, you attach the material you made to the object. Now, let's try another example. Let's use a cube. We'll create a different object. And just like before, we'll make a material, but this time let's name it Cube. And this time, let's set the color to blue. Alright, just like this. When I attached it to this object, the color became blue. So, in this way, you can change the color of the object. This is the function. It's called a material. So, for example, if you have a sphere that you just colored, this material will be included as a component in the sphere. So, from here as well, you can change the color. Alright, so, actually, materials have some more interesting features, so I'd like to try out a few additional things. With this material, you can do more than just add color, you can also add what's called a texture. It's kind of like putting a sheet of paper on the surface, if that makes sense. Basically, you can create different surface qualities or textures from here on out. So, please take a look. Let me get this ready for a moment. Okay, and for example, if you have an image file like this, you can drag and drop the image data right here. When you do that, you'll see it appear in the project window under Assets, just like this. Right now, I've added Musashi, which is the image character for ITeens Lab, and you can see it's been imported here. Now, what I'm going to do is apply this image onto this cube here. So, I click on Musashi, and then I go to the texture type option. Sprite. Set it to this sprite. With it set like this. Oh, sorry, and then. Now, since I changed the image settings, it asks what I want to do. So, I just click Apply as is. Once I do that, it becomes a sprite. Next, there's a material for the cube, right here, and then I take the image that I just converted to a sprite and drag it here, where it says albedo. If you drag and drop it here, then, sorry, it got a little hard to see, so I'll change the color back to white. There we go. Alright, like this, sorry, it's a bit. It's ended up looking pretty awkward, but, well, it's something like this. So, as you can see, this is how it turns out. And since it's kind of flipped over and stuff, I think you can change some settings around here. But since that gets into more detailed stuff, for now, let's just say you can load an image, turn it into a sprite, and then load it into the material and paste it on like this. So, there's a feature that lets you load images like this. Now, the material part here is actually pretty deep, so when I have more time, I'd like to give a more detailed explanation. Well then, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Alright, everyone, great job. How did you find today's content? You know, just changing the color alone really makes things look a lot more fun, doesn't it? Yeah, materials. I think it's a really great feature. So now, using what we've covered in this video so far, I'd like you all to try making a program. Anything is fine, just give it a shot. Even if you watch this video and study along, you won't really learn unless you actually try making something yourself. And you don't have to make anything too advanced, just something simple is totally fine. Just play around with it a bit and see what you can come up with. It's totally fine if it's just at the level of, I wonder what will happen if I do this next. The important thing is to actually try it out yourself. Not just copying, but really getting hands-on and experimenting is super important. So, as an assignment, please try making one project of your own. Once you're done, let's meet again in the next video. I'll be waiting for you in the next video. Bye-bye.